Because you're in therapy. You're in therapy. I'd say that too.
I think nighttime would be lovely, but is that a UFO?
Amazing.
Holy shit! Oh, is that cool?
You can almost hardly look at it.
We've seen them in Mississippi like this, but never like never like.
People in American Fork and Highland reported some strange happenings in last night's sky.
They did, and they want to know what was hovering over that area between 7:15 and 7:30 last night. ABC4's Barb Smith is taking action to find out what it was, Barb.
Robert and Karen, they tell us that they saw lights, but those lights were not from an airplane or a helicopter, and these lights dropped something as they hung low over the sky.
I don't believe in extraterrestrials.
Lynette Chittister doesn't believe in close encounters. Neither does Mike Galbraith.
And when people tell me this, I think, oh, you know, you're just seeing things or people are making things up.
But last night, both saw something in the sky that they can't explain. Mike was in the Air Force and says the lights hovering in the sky were unlike any he had seen. He was outside a shopping center in American Fork, grabbed his cell phone, and took this video.
But I looked up and there was 3 red lights, and then they started dropping. It looked like flares or something bright was dropping straight down.
Lynette saw it too at her home in Highland.
And I noticed over the roof of the garage a red light and a white light. And the red light isn't flashing, that like an airplane light does. That's what drew my attention to it.
She says soon there were 3.
And out of the red light comes like a firework, the phosphorescent silver. It's coming down out of it, and I thought, okay, I've never seen that before.
Both say the objects were flying slowly, almost hovering, and were in formation.
And they looked like they were flying in formation perfectly together. And then whatever was dropping looked like it was burning real bright.
But Galbraith says the lights were without sound and did not belong to any plane or helicopter he was familiar with from his military experience. And he says what was being dropped were not flares.
They usually shoot out of the sides or they shoot down, and there's a lot of them. And you could definitely hear them.
Lynette's husband once manufactured military flares. He agreed what was being seen was not a military exercise.
All we're doing is giving you a figurative account of what Christ looked like in the Bible. All right, because all over the world they painting Christ as a white man with stringy white hair, with stringy blonde hair. That ain't what Christ looked like according to the Bible. Read that out.
Daniel 7 and 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool.
Right, so there's another account showing you what his hair texture looked like. Pure wool. Read.
His throne was like the fury flames, and his wheels as burning fire.
Right, this is what the Most High Christ gonna come back on, man. This is what Christ is gonna come back on his throne. All right. So we show you account after account that Christ was here, and that he's in the New Testament. All right.
This is Revelation 2 and 18. And unto the angel of the church in Thyatira write, these things saith the Son of God, who hath his eyes like unto flames of fire, and his feet are as like fine brass.
There it is again, another account, over and over and over. Give me 1 Corinthians 11 and 19. So we're showing you that Christ was a black man with woolly hair. And the 12 tribes of Israel looked just like that. And if Christ looked like that, his father looked like that, his grandfathers looked like that, David, the king of Israel, looked like that, and so forth.
1 Corinthians 11 and 19.
And see, this is how you know if we're speaking from the word or if we're just speaking out our own hearts. A lot of y'all say color is not important. Well, guess what? It is important. It is important. When you study in the scriptures, everything is important. If it wasn't important, then the little things that the scientists are doing over in Israel, looking up artifacts, then that's not important. So color is important because they painted the wrong Jesus all over the world. Read.
1 Corinthians 11 and 19. For there must be also heresies among you.
So he's saying there must be heresies among you. So people preaching that Christ didn't come in the flesh, that's a heresy. People preaching that Christ didn't come for the children of Israel, that's a heresy. People teaching that Christ didn't have woolly hair, but he looked like the white Caesar Borgia that's on the churches all around the world, that's a heresy. All right? Read.
That they which are, for there must be also heresies among you, that they which are approved may be made manifest among you.
Right, so the Most High is telling you right here in the scriptures that there are going to be men who are actually going to do the righteousness of him by keeping his laws, statutes, commandments, and reading from his scriptures and understanding them and teaching from them. All right? But you got other religions out there that are not teaching from the Bible. You got Islam with Farrakhan. He up there teaching Islam, but he quick to pull out the Bible. I thought he was in the Quran. Farrakhan always quote the scriptures of the Bible, not having no understanding of them. But he won't preach out of the Quran. All right? That's a heresy. The Mormons, what's his name? Mick Romney. He's a Mormon. Do y'all know that they said black people used to be white in that book? That's a heresy. That's a heresy. That shouldn't be the Book of Mormons, but the Book of the Morons. All right? Jehovah's Witness is another one. I went toe-to-toe with the Jehovah's Witness, going over the scriptures, and their whole book has been rewritten to take out all the truth of the Bible to say something totally different. You can start with Isaiah 40 and 17. They changed that completely. All right? And there's several other religions. All the religions in America are going against the scriptures. That's why we say Christians hate the Bible, because they don't read from the Bible. They don't study the Bible. They go to church and they just follow in the Judas scapegoat. A Judas, what do you call it, leading to the slaughterhouse? A Judas goat.
When ye come together, therefore, into one place, this is not to eat of the Lord's Supper, for in eating everyone taketh before others his own supper.
Right. So our supper is this Bible. Now they say that baptism comes with water. Okay, what is that water? Give me John 3 and 16. Now, John 3 and 6. Because Christ didn't baptize anybody. If you look at the scriptures, Christ didn't baptize anybody. He washed the feet of the disciples, but he didn't baptize not anybody. John the Baptist had that oath. But when Christ came, a new oath came. John the Baptist was the end of the Old Testament. Christ was the New Testament. John 3 and 6. Start at John 3 and 3.
John 3 and 3. Jesus answered and said unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of the Most High.
Read on.
Nicodemus said unto him, How can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter the second time into the mother's womb and be born? Jesus answered, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born of water and of the Spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of God.
So he said, if a man is born again, it's not by baptizing with water, but he said, if you're born of the water and the Spirit. Now, understand what the water is saying. Give me Ephesians 5 and 26. Let's find out what the water Christ is speaking of. We're about to find out right now on the street corner what Christ meant. Get that, and then hold Luke 3 and 16 at the same time. Christ was talking in parables whenever he spoke. He never spoke plainly except to his disciples. Like I said, John the Baptist was the last one to baptize people with water. Christ came to baptize with fire. Sister, you dropped something.
I did.
Christ came, that bag right there. First go to Luke 3 and 16. We're going to jump over to Galatians.
Luke 3 and 16. John answered, saying unto him, All I indeed baptize you with water, But one mightier than I cometh, that latchet of whose shoes I am not worthy to unloose.
Come on.
He shall baptize you with the Spirit and with fire.
So John the Baptist is telling his men that there's one that's coming that's not going to baptize with water no more. He said he's going to come baptizing with fire and the Spirit. All right? This is the difference. Go to the other verse I told you to get. Galatians, Ephesians 5:26. Read.
Ephesians 5:26.
Now this is the water. Y'all think it's physical water, all right? It's spiritual water. It's a difference. When he told the lady, when he was speaking to the lady at the well, he said, "I have a water that if you drink, you'll live forever." We ain't talking about a physical water. It's talking about a spiritual water. Read.
That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of the word.
So what's the water? What is the water? Read that again. The last part.
That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of the water by the word.
So washing of the water is the word. So the word is the water. Didn't Christ say he came as the word? He's the word. That's the difference. All right? Christ took away that oath of baptizing. So you got a lot of church still doing that. But Christ said that he's going to baptize you with the Holy Spirit and the Word. That's the difference. Give me 119, Psalms 119, 142. The Word is everything, man. All right? Christ came for the Israelites. He died for the Israelites. There's 12 tribes of Israel that still exist, and it's you Negroes, Latinos, and American Indians, and you find that first and foremost right here on the street corners of West Oakland. We've been out here for a long time teaching. A lot of y'all see us speaking, and you say, them dudes are crazy. What the heck they talking about? But we come out here to teach. If you just listen, all you got to do is listen. But if you can't understand, maybe it ain't meant for you today. Maybe it's meant for you tomorrow or next week. But I know one thing, you better repent quick, because we're in the last days. All right, read that out.
Psalms 119 and 142.
Right.
The righteousness is an everlasting righteousness,
right,
and the law is the truth.
So what is the truth? The law is the truth. The law is the truth. Give me Proverbs 6:23. So the law is the truth. So Christ is the word, and the law is the truth. So what is Christ? He's the law. So how do you keep the law? By keeping the law. There's 613 laws, my brothers and sisters. 613. One of which I give it to you on a plate, on a platter, is not to eat pork. Another one is not eating shrimp and crab. Something that we love as a people. We love that stuff, man. But it drives our high blood pressure up. It drives our diabetes up. We get cholesterol, gout, all these diseases, man. These are the curses that fall upon the Negroes, Latinos, and American Indians. We're the only people that got it. You go to the hospital, go to Arthur Banks, or go to Summit Hospital. All you're going to see is us up in there with diabetes and high blood pressure and gout. We're the ones on the surgery tables being experimented on like the Tuskegee Institute. We're the same people going to the enemies for help. When the scriptures tell you what to do, there's a dietary law in here. He tells you how to eat. He tells you what to see, how to act, how to behave. Read.
This is Proverbs 6:23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light.
So light, see, you think Christ is light. Christ is light because why? Read that again.
For the commandment is a lamp.
So the commandment is a lamp, read.
And the law is a light.
And the law is a light. Christ told you about that light. Give me Matthew. Go to Matthew 5:7. Christ told you about what that light was. So now we out here telling you too. The light is keeping the law of the Most High. The law, statutes, commandments. That's where you get your understanding from. Read.
17. Matthew 5:7. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy.
Read on.
Blessed are the pure in heart,
right,
for they shall see the Most High.
Read on.
Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of the Most High.
Read on.
Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
Read on.
Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you.
Right, when we come out, we're the only brothers that come out, people be cursing it. Why? Because we be bringing the law of the Bible out. So we fitting the prophecies. Now you get other Christians that go out, love everybody, don't nobody curse them out. Look, that's an honor. You cursing us out for reading the Bible? We fitting prophecy. We telling our people that they the chosen people of the Bible, and they look at us like we crazy. Not knowing we've been studying this for years, and our elders been studying this since the Nat Turner days, man. Hey, y'all people, man, need to wake up. This stuff has been around for thousands of years. The whole cold part about it is, you think the white man wrote the Bible, but it's the other way around. All the white man did was publish the Bible. That's all he did. He just published it. It was written not by the white man. The white man can never write a book like this. He can never write a book. There's too much error in the white man. There's no way. What do I mean by error? Just look at history. He slaughtered the American Indians. He slaughtered the Negroes, over 100 million of them, and he thought that it was right. That's how wicked he is. Like I said earlier, the Tuskegee Institute, they was killing our brothers and injecting syphilis into our brothers. And they're doing it right now in Mexico. They're doing it right now in South America. The same thing they did on the Negroes, they do it to our brethren, the American Indians, the Latinos. It's the same thing. So there's no way in hell could a white man write this Bible. No way in hell. He is not upright. But you Negroes, Latinos, and American Indians once were righteous men. You did write the Bible. You were the Hebrew Israelites. You are the same people that built up Egypt and fled Egypt with the help of the Most High. That's why you got pyramids in Egypt. That's why there's pyramids down in South America. And how you think the pyramids got to South America? The same people built them. All right? What about Egypt? How was it built? It was built by certain people came and built it. It was called the Hebrew Israelites. It's all in scriptures and all in history. Now, if you was a ruler, who would you get to build your city? Who would you get to build your city? If you knew that these people built a great city that was Egypt, you would go and get the Hebrew Israelites. So who came and got the Hebrew Israelites that fled into West Africa? Who came and got the Hebrew Israelites that fled into West Africa? It was the so-called white man that's prophesied in the Bible, Deuteronomy 28. The scriptures tells on the white man. It condemns the white man. It condemns the white man. All right? Read.
5 and 10.
You can go 5 and 10 again?
Yeah, I'm looking for the light. Shine, let your light shine. You know what I'm saying? It says, let your light shine. It's in here. Right here. 14. You got 14.
Okay. 5 and 14. You are the light of the world. A city that is set on and hill cannot be hid.
Right, so it's telling you who the light is. We just read in Proverbs 6 and 23. We go back to Proverbs 6 and 23. We're going to go right back to that.
Proverbs 6 and 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is a light.
So the commandment is a lamp, and the law is a light. So who are the light bearers? Go back to Matthew. Who are the light bearers? Everybody can't be a light bearer. The Edomites can't be a light bearer. The Chinese can't be light bearers. The Arabs can't be light bearers. The Most High set up one chosen people. Israel, the Negroes, Latinos, and American Indians, to be that one chosen people. Read.
Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid.
Right, so the city is Jerusalem, who is the people before it's a place. All right, city of peace. These are the people of peace. Read.
Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it give light unto all that are in the house.
Right, we in the middle of West Oakland right now, letting our light shine in West Oakland so we can wake up our people. Why? Because we love our people. Nobody's paying us to do this. Give me Deuteronomy 7 and 6. This is the church right here. The Most High said, well, 2 or 3 are present, that's where he is. He never said that he was in a building. All right? Show me in scriptures where Christ said the church is a building. He said, tear down my body, in 3 days I'll rebuild it. He was talking about his people. That's the church. Read that out.
Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people.
Above just some people.
Above all people.
He said all people. So the Most High said that he's nominated a special people to be above all people. Read.
That are upon the face of the earth.
Right.
The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you were more in number than any people.
Right, he didn't choose us because we had a lot of brothers and sisters and a lot of uncles and aunties. He chose us why? Read.
For ye were the fewest of all people.
Right, the Negroes are the fewest of all people. You look around, they do a census every 20 years. Is it every 20 years or 10 years?
10.
Every 10 years they do a census. On that census, they break down all nationalities. Y'all thought y'all was African American until you looked at the census card. On the census card it says Negro. Alright? They still call y'all Negroes. Y'all not African Americans. The government says y'all still Negroes. Alright? But which means what? That you're small in number still, because y'all see a lot of blacks here in West Oakland, or y'all go down to South Central, see a lot of blacks there, or you go there in Harlem, see a lot of blacks there, but that's just the cities. What about between California all the way to New York, in between there? Montana, South Dakota, North Dakota, ain't no blacks in those cities. Alright? We're few of all the numbers of people. Negroes, we're concentrated in areas that's in major cities, that's it. And why do we run the major cities? For jobs, for protection. Because once upon a time we used to be afraid to be in the country because they would come lynch us, they come steal our horses, they come steal, take whatever they wanted to. I'm talking about the so-called white man. So we had to run for refuge and go to the cities because they had more laws set up there. Alright, that's just a little extra. Better as 6 and 7. 6 and 7.
Deuteronomy 6 and 7. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto the children.
So